Good morning and welcome to Everyday Money Matters on Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. My name is Adu and it's a beautiful Wednesday, the 21st day of April. You are listening to Lagos Talks 91.3 FM and it's good to be here with the money team. I have Olumide in the building, Lawretta, and also my okay, I thought I saw Godre now. Okay, so they are part of the team from Nairametrics, and Nairametrics is Nigeria's leading destination for business and financial and economic news and from Nairametrics. Content from Nairametrics includes breaking news analysis, coverage of capital and money markets, as well as financial literacy and personal finance. So once again, good to have you, Olumide and Lawretta. Good morning, guys. How are you doing today?
Yeah, good morning. We're doing good. Yeah, good morning.
Nice to be here again.
All right. So if you are listening, you can join the conversation with us. Lagos Talks 913 on Twitter. And of course, remember to tag Nairametrics as well. And also you can join us by sending a message to our WhatsApp line. The WhatsApp line of the station is 0809 234 5913. 0809 234 5913. All right, so let's get into the questions for today. And by the way, so first one is good morning, money team. What is the best investment advice? What is the best investment advice for someone who has 1 million naira to invest in Nigeria today?
Okay.
Olumide, you want to answer that?
Yeah, basically, 1 million naira is at today's international rate market. That's about $2,000. I'll say that's pretty small, based on the fact that investments should not be seen as a quick rich scheme. So what the listener needs to understand is that except you have more, I don't know your valuation, your age, and other appetite for risk. I think
Right.
if that's your net worth, that's not suitable for any investment now is not really suitable for you because of the volatility and the rising inflation. But if you are someone that really have times 10 of that, then you could start with mutual funds. If you're not really knowledgeable about investments, you can get that at reputed investment banks in Nigeria. If you have credible knowledge about investment classes and you read an metrics article on a daily basis, then you could go through the stock market option. There's still some good purchases. So those are the two key assets you can in Nigeria right now with that kind of money.
Well, let me know because very rich people. So what I can say that given the situation, the volatility of our market, fixed income is still low, inflation is high. It is clear that if you don't want to take risk with your money, you are actually going to be losing money. There's no two ways about it because inflation is going, really high, and there's hardly any investment you can make that will guarantee your capital and your, and give you gains without actually having to take any risk to beat inflation. So I would say, my normal advice is typically try to invest in yourself. If you have a business that you believe in, a small business, you've seen the market, you've seen that something that's working now, something that's in high demand now, then yes, you should go into that. But if you are trying to go into traditional investment, stocks might not be particularly if you're not, it's 1 million naira, so you're not necessarily trying to do it long term. So I'm assuming you're looking for something that can give you gains on the go. I would say maybe try agro partnerships. They could help as well. But I would say invest in yourself, like find a business that you can key into that will give you gains, something that the market needs right now. And yeah, to save you a lot of stress.
Right. Okay. So does it mean that once a person doesn't have more than a certain threshold of money, investment should not be a consideration for them?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Because of the risk, and the Sharpe ratio, or alpha returns, the market liquidity can really erode your earnings. And you can see that in the crypto market already that on Sunday, billions of dollars were lost and virtually went into the smoke. So most of retail investors were caught in the crossfires. And institutional investors that had assets worth millions of dollars, there was a way they could hedge their such risk. So we usually advise that retail investors should always go for less risky assets. And just like Loretta said, they should focus on the real sector, businesses, and their intellectual skills.
I would say
Loretta,
if you're investing 1 million naira, probably stay in Nigeria. So again, people like Olumide are looking at the international markets. Naturally, if you are trying to invest naira in a dollar-denominated market or a much bigger market, since your money is small and then there are other charges and things like that, it's natural that you will lose a lot more. But if you're making your money in naira and it's not a lot, it's best to stay within areas you can control, which is Nigeria to a large extent. Not all markets are bad for people who don't have a lot of cash.
Yeah, that's why the person asked for, I think, investment in Nigeria today.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure the person was looking to the international community. Because the honest truth is, looking at the earning power of a lot of people, this is most likely where a lot of people would be when it comes to investment, if you look at the economy today. Anyway, let's move on to the next question. Hi, I just want to know what happens to the economy if the CBN injects money into fixed income market. Let me read the question.
That's what in finance we call that expansion, or we call that quantitative easing, and that's basically how people say the Apex Bank prints money. Usually, what really happens is that when there's need for market liquidity, the Apex Bank don't just pump money like some people think to the banks and things like that. It goes through channels, and usually what they do is that they mop up debt instrument, and that's how they do that through treasury bills, the bond market and stuff. So when you see that happening, it means that the Fed is going to or the Fed is trying to ease market liquidity, and the essence is that it wants to provide the players more room to give out loans, because when banks have liquidity, they can give loans to a lot of businesses. That's the idea in theory. But when you hear about the Apex Bank and tightening liquidity, it means that they will start selling their debt instrument, and that means that they're trying to mop money off the market. So that's really an hawkish move. So both ways, when you hear that, it means that the Apex Bank is dovish or is trying to increase money liquidity. So basically, that's what it means on economic terms.
Okay, so still on this advice on investment, says, good morning, sir. I want to seek your advice on investment. This person says, it says, I have 200,000 naira. I want to invest, but I don't know what best to invest it in. I really wish you could be of help. Please, I would appreciate. I think it's similar to the person who asked 1 million naira.
Yeah, because those funds are, you see, the thing you need to understand, like that's why I usually advise a lot of listeners and readers to always have a financial advisor, because you see, basic reasons of having these people behind you is that they understand investment, the risk, and your inflationary conditions, and they put all these things together to you. 200,000 naira, even in Nigerian standard, is very, very little. There are so many stocks that just 2 days trading will wipe out that earnings, and you see, that's not the purpose of investment. So I think when you have certain funds, I tell people, start investing in your intellectual capacity, your earning capacity. How do you invest in your earning capacity? Go for things that you know that will require little or no funds. And those, what are the easiest options? Intellectual skills, creativity. You understand? Investment is not just open. That's why even in advanced market, they will tell you that there's a threshold for what kind of investment you qualify for. In Nigeria, we're a bit conservative, but most investment banks will tell you that if you don't really have like $1 million or so, you can't really access some market. And the reasons why they're doing that is just for them to reduce the risk of you burning out. So I think the listener need to understand that, just like what Loretta said, the real sector, creative skills are your best options.
So I really don't want people to walk away thinking if you don't have money, you can invest. And it's really important because the majority of Nigerians do not have the kind of money you are talking about.
Yeah, I think I align with you, Loretta.
Yeah, so I would say just so we can list specific options, I would say there are some agro businesses, like agro-tech businesses, that will collect as low as 200,000 naira. Of course, you have to do your due diligence to make sure these people have a good history of payouts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's that. There are still some fund managers. There are companies you can walk into. Hey, I have 200,000 naira. Help me manage my funds. I would rather not lose money, but if I need to lose money to gain money, then it's fine. Tell them what you want, and they'll put it in a fund that will actually yield something good to you. So that's two options now. Then for the third one, I'll say yes, we can now go back to maybe starting a business, small business. You'll be amazed how many Instagram businesses are making returns as high as 100% from just selling things on Instagram. You'll be amazed. And then there are things like, yes, investing your earning capacity, learn a course. Like if you just learn one short course on Coursera, and you would wake up one day sitting at home making money from your laptop, things like that. But there will always be opportunities, no matter how little your money is to invest. You just have to position yourself. I kind of have an open mind. Like, it doesn't have to be stocks, it doesn't have to be cryptos, but there's always so many other things you can put your money in.
Crowdfunding,
yeah,
many the options. I think what Olumide said. I think Olumide's line of thought is before you start to run on thinking of, it's just 200K I have, maybe you get information that will help you to know what's in that bracket would give to you and what your options are.
Yes, and in addition to what I said, I do. You see, some of these investments that Loretta is saying, some of them are not regulated by SEC, and I tell people that, okay, if you really want to invest in assets that people tell you, just put 50K and get, you should be ready to lose that kind of money. But me, I am giving you my bias based on the fact that there's usually a standard threshold in investing any asset. It's not open to certain people, and it's not basically because they want to hurt them or they want to exploit them. It's just for their safe bracket, And it happens.
Normal fund managers are backed by SEC. Yes, now. So yeah, just go to any fund manager, any advisory firm. There's a number of them in Nigeria, and give them your money. That's it. They'll know what to do with it best.
Yeah. When you say give them your money, somebody's eye just changed. Give them your money. Loretta, you have started trouble. All right, let's take some more questions here. Somebody is asking, Olumide says, I read an article on Nairametrics, which is your website. It says, on debt management office issuing bonds with interest rates as high as 16%. It says, where and how can I make such an investment?
Yeah, good question. I hope it's not late because the auction is starting today. He's talking about the 10-year FGM bond. It's given about 16 points and 2.84%. And it's going to open today. The settlement date is coming on 20th. You can get it at any investment bank. There are so many investment banks that have access to this. You can, if you have an account. But this is the catch. Does he really have 15 million naira? If he doesn't really have 15 million naira, that's the starting. If he doesn't really have 15 million, then he has to go indirectly through investment funds that have such exposure, mutual funds, ETFs. So basically, he just has to talk to his financial advisor for much more specific things. But that's really what's doing right now.
Thank you, Olumide. Another question here. Loretta, this person is saying, with inflation at as high as 18%, does it make sense for me to simply hold a large portion of my savings in US dollars? I'm not really interested in investing in stocks and other investment.
Okay, so there are different angles to this question. The first thing is, did you make your money in dollars? So there are people that believe that right now, because inflation is high, let me just carry my money and save it in, put it in dollars. So you are going to change with the current rates and everything. And then you lock it up. And then maybe after 1 month, you're hoping that, something magical has happened. So yes, backing your currency, backing the naira against any other international assets is a good idea. Investing in dollars, investing in pounds is a good idea. But I would say, as opposed to just doing what people of old would do and just carry the money and buy dollars and put it in a savings account, that you should actually invest the money. So what I get from the question is, does it make sense? Should I just hold a portion of money in dollars to just put it somewhere and wait? Well, it could help because the currency is stronger than the naira, but I would say you should invest. So invest in foreign stocks, invest in international assets, and that way you have a much higher chance of increasing the value of the actual value of the currency, as opposed to just keeping it dormant, particularly if you had exchange and you do not make the money in dollars, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, let me add to what Loretta said. I think you should look at it two ways. Putting your money, just fixing your money in dollar terms, is not really a wise decision. And let the listeners understand that inflation is not just a Nigerian problem. In fact, current statistics show that the dollar inflation also is creating serious concerns in other emerging markets, including the United States, and that happens to be the world's biggest economy. And that's because there's so much money in circulation. So this is the opportunity cost. If you are somebody that has exposure to foreign markets, I'm talking of maybe you are an exporter, you buy sophisticated items like iPhones, cars, then keeping your dollar in that is not a safe thing. I think the best thing is just like what the investment banker last week show from Standard Chartered said. They have so many relatively secure investments in dollar terms that you can have access to. Investment banks like Afrivest and other ones have also such investment opportunities. So the idea is that you are hedging both against local and international inflation, because see, we are import driven. So at one point we are importing inflation. So it's not just the naira you are concerned about. You're also concerned that the dollar will earn more buck when you do transactions. So if you don't want to use that, then you just have to invest in such a way, because keeping your funds just dormant in the bank, you don't get any interest because it's in dollar terms, except you have the dollar yielding account. I don't think it's a smart move.
All right, then. If you just joining us, this is Everyday Money Matters, brought to you in partnership with our friends at Nairametrics. Nairametrics, like I said, is Nigeria's leading destination for business, financial, and economic news. So it's just nairametrics.com. Perhaps you also were like, oh, I missed a part of this show. I'd love to listen again. Do you have a podcast or something? Well, good news, you can watch this on YouTube again and again. So just go to youtube.com and look for Nairametrics, and you'll get to watch the video again. And perhaps you have thought, man, I need this information on investment. I just want to become a smarter investor. Well, there's good news for you. There's a stock select newsletter that Nairametrics gives to its subscribers, and it helps you to become a smarter investor. Helps you discover market-beating stocks. You learn how to invest with confidence. You get insight into the factors that drive appreciation of your capital. All the things Olumide was talking about will no longer be rocket science to you. And with this subscription, you get at least 2 stock recommendations monthly. You get the monthly buy or sell hold recommendations. So meaning if you have stock, they'll tell you, this one you need to sell, this one you need to hold, this one you need to buy. And you also get exclusive market intelligence on the stock market pretty much, and also the market in general. You have analysis of companies that is succinctly written and sent to you. And of course, their corporate actions and how it implies on your investment. So it's pretty much like a summary of your navigator of, investing in stock and helping you being a smart stock investor, an investor generally. So if you want that and you want to be a part of that community, just go to ssn.nairametrics.com and you have the opportunity to subscribe. That's ssn.nairametrics.com. You subscribe to it and you get the what's it called now? The daily recommendations, the recommendations as well as the other information I did mention earlier. And don't forget again, the video is going to be on YouTube at Nairametrics on youtube.com. All right, let's return back to some of your questions coming in. This one is of the Bitcoin family. So Olumide, I think you might want to help us with this. It says, do you think now is a good time to buy Dogecoin, and why is it flying to the moon?
Good question. I myself, I'm so shocked. That coin has broken a lot of crypto pundits, and the fact that on a week to week it has given returns of more than 450% really beats somebody's imagination. But you see, the thing about the crypto market is that there are different fundamentals driving it, and there's one key level, like I was saying earlier, that you need to be careful about your risk appetite. Something that can go as high as 250% a day you should be ready if it goes down 100%. So the thing for me is that, yeah, the coin is really going up because it has strong backers. Elon Musk is one of the most powerful and richest men in the world, and he has always been tweeting about that consistently. Mark Cuban is another billionaire that owns a very expensive basketball merchandise, and he has a lot of followings. So those are things that propel. But if you look at the assets, it has really not much use. It was designed more like a joke in Elon Musk world, pretty for social payments. But because these people are behind it, the market has been pumping. But my advice for a lot of people, retail investors, is that you see the opportunity cost at the level is trading is that you're at risk of burning out and making more money, because these things move very fast and they come down very fast. And we are hearing rumors of regulation, we're hearing rumors of other dampening things that could threaten the crypto market. So if you are ready to lose such funds, yes, you can go ahead. And if you're ready to, if you think, yeah, but the truth about it is that it's rising relatively, looks like a good, but it's looking expensive because it's already trading at a record high. So I advise investors to invest in what they are ready to lose. Dodge is running, but doesn't mean that because you miss the train, you should miss your life. So I think listeners need to be very careful when investing in these volatile assets.
All right, Olumide. Finally, our last question for today. Loretta, you might help us with this one because you have talked about agro investment. This person says, I am seeing a 40% annual return for an investment in agro partnership. Is this a good and safe investment? It says they have a good history of payouts, 40% annual return. Agro partnership, investment in agro partnership. It says, is it a good and safe investment? What are your thoughts, Loretta? Can you hear me?
Okay, 40% annually is right? It sounds very logical because 40% annually. You would see a number of them that will tell you you get 40% within the next 3 months. There's a lot of that. But I would say so let's even still leave the conversation of regulation right now, because a lot of them do have dicey regulatory requirements that some have not met up, some are struggling to meet up, things like that. I would say with any assets that is giving you returns really high, you need to be conscious of the risk element of it. Like that is the only one advice I would give anybody going into agri-tech. This thing happened to a company last year that they had been doing pretty well for years, and then suddenly, because of the disruptions caused by COVID-19, disruptions in their value chain, transportation, very simple things like the feeds could not reach the people that were feeding the animals, and there were massive disruptions. Payouts were delayed, and it got really messy online last year. And I'm like, is it that people don't know that there are risks, particularly with agriculture? You can be operating a fishery business, and then you wake up one day and all the fishes in the pond are dead because all the fishes are there because you did something wrong, or maybe because you didn't do something wrong because there was some kind of infection. Like it could be anything. So you need to understand, particularly, it's kind of tied to what Olumide was saying. When you are going into any volatile market, whether it is cryptocurrency, whether it is agriculture, understand that there, in as much as there's a high possibility for you to make a huge amount of money, there's also a high possibility for you to lose the amount of money, which is why people before now typically just invest in the market. At least I can guarantee my principal. But because even if they have people high, they have been giving us high returns for a long time. Anything could happen, and you don't need for you to understand that the scaling is much that you can afford to when you're investing, so you never know what's happening. Yeah.
All right, Loretta, thank you for that. Although towards the end of the line, we weren't really hearing you clearly, but we're out of time now. We need to go. Just to remind you, our dear listener on the radio, that you can watch this this video again on YouTube. That's Nairametrics on YouTube. You'll see it again. And don't forget to subscribe to the Stock Select newsletter, where you get that information you need to help you be a smart investor. ssn.nairametrics.com is the website to go if you want to subscribe to the newsletter. Olumide and Loretta, thank you guys for being here today. And I hope that very soon, not too far future, we'll be doing this together, maybe live in the studio one of these days. All right, do enjoy the guys. Take care of you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.